13 minutes gone past the hour. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Hello Port Harcourt. All right, so this morning, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to be talking about tourism. Oh, yes. Tourism is our focus this morning. And this morning, it's that time where people tend to ask, what exactly is wrong with the tourism sector here in Nigeria, and in particular, River State? Now, some of you during the Christmas holiday even said, oh, there's this place that I would like to go visit. People should come and see what we have in this community. But if these communities are well known by you, are they well known by the people outside River State? Now, I have with me one of Port Harcourt's sons, one of Port Harcourt's very own. You probably heard from him about 2-3 months ago. You know, when he came in, we're talking about this event. You've heard him, you've seen him at either some weddings, some functions, and sometimes even some places that you don't expect to see him at. Ladies and gentlemen, K.O. Baba is joining me in the studio. K.O., good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Jude. This some place. Please, let's where and where.
Well, some people have seen you at weddings. Some people have seen you buying bread. I know I've caught you in the supermarket buying bread before, and it's very good to know.
Yeah, expecting when you say some places around that Casablanca Junction.
I don't know what Where's what? Please, no.
That's a tourism site.
Okay. You see, that's the perception. One of the things I learned last year, and I've been saying it very often, is that if we don't tell our stories ourselves, we'll risk having people telling our stories for us in the wrong way. So it is very important that our stories are told, and this is K.O. telling a story. Now we're talking about tourism. Now, K.O. Baba, there was a time in this country where everybody would wait for December 15th.
Yeah.
And then it's like ants coming to sugar. They rush down to Calabar. From December 15th to up until the new year of the following year, there's a lot of traffic in and out of Calabar. We don't get to see that anymore. All right. People travel to other places to see their family. People, they'll go to the village. They'll go to Desnefite. They'll go to Anambra. They'll go to all those places. But people rarely go to places because there's something fun to do there.
Yes.
Where is Port Harcourt right now?
Okay. I don't want to say very sad. I don't want to sound as. Let me be optimistic. Let me hope for the best. But right now, we hardly have people coming to Port Harcourt because they want to enjoy themselves, have fun, and that's because that we don't hold that tourism value as much as we used to hold. But there are also some events, like if you've heard of the Okuchiri Beach Carnival, what's happening in Andoni, when it gets to this period, I know that people still come into town. Bole Festival is happening soon. I have friends for the past 3 or 4 years. They would drive from Delta. They are coming for Bole Festival.
Yeah.
They stay here from Friday, Saturday morning. They're already out until night, Sunday, and they leave this town on Monday as well. I have the same experience with my event. I have several persons. The hotels around GRA at some point they didn't have room. Because,
yes, the books.
Yeah, even that boat price, everything was such. Like if you come to the front of EUI Event Center, there are people who on their own they just carried their goods in front of the gate. They were selling. Yes. What that means is entertainment creates that value that makes these people, when they come around for Bole Festival, for instance, it's not just all about the event. If they hear there's a place called this, there's this, there's that. In Elekaya there is Bole.
The central capital of Bole, the bus spot, the woman at the first gate.
As funny as it is, when people come into this town, I did my Cuba Youth Convention last year. So one of my speakers said, I want to go to that place. They say it's in Elekaya Bole village. Now, it may sound funny, but if the government is proactive, the government is conscious, one of the things you will see that they will amplify that village.
Place.
Yes, they will amplify it. They will make it bigger. They will make it finer. They will even create it. They will duplicate it. Like you have Bole Village in Elekaya. There's another one in Choba. There's another one. And people will come into this town and they say, this weekend, that's how people spend money. There are people who travel to Italy. They travel to Italy and they say they just want to lick ice cream.
Pizza.
Pigs.
That's it.
It's small because they have the money. Yes, so we don't have all that. There used to be Port Harcourt Torridge Beach, where small.
Room is small too.
Yes, go just enter there. But now you go to the Torridge Beach, physics, chemistry, and biology everywhere. So all of these have been down, very poor. So we don't have that at this stance now.
All right, so it's good that you mentioned the positives. The positives, being events such as yours, talking about the Bole Festival, talk about the beach car. I got to even meet a very fine gentleman earlier this year. His name is Walter, Beach Harcourt. They try to get people, to come with them to some of the beaches that they have around Port Harcourt, and say, let's have a party here, let's celebrate this place, and hopefully that will bring people here and all those kind of things. But it's still small. It's like a drop in the ocean, right?
Yes.
And so there's some questions that we've asked on Facebook. Get on Facebook now at Nigeriainfo PH, at Nigeriainfo PH, right? Now, Kay has just cited some of the things that used to happen. Why has it been so difficult to get tourism, on an even keel in Port Harcourt?
Okay,
in River State, don't just say Port Harcourt, because the idea is not
it's not just Port Harcourt.
It's not just Port Harcourt. Yes,
it's not just Port Harcourt. I've been close to the Director General, River State Tourism Development Agency, and we've had conversation. And possibly I would like you to invite him. And I was opportune to see a document. It's called Tourism Bible. Now, when I went through that Tourism Bible put together by Yibokoko, you will see that in the 23 local government of River State, 23, not 3, not 5, not 20. I'm talking about every local government. The day you have him here, if you will invite him, when you mention a local government, he will tell you a particular sport or culture that can attract people. And that's why some of the conversations we've been holding about Canny Reef is the next time there is Canny Reef, if by the grace of God it will happen, we are going to hold an heritage-style carnival. What we mean by heritage style carnival, we say every local government have something you can look at.
Yeah.
So it is a case of lack of blueprint that have not been accepted by leadership. That's how I see it. Because I think that the tourism development as an agency have a blueprint and the government have not.
I've not taken
serious. There's no, we don't pay attention to things like this. If you look at it very well, even from that blueprint, will generate revenue in most of them as well. So it is a leadership problem. It's a vision problem. It's lack of political will towards that area of tourism. Somebody is not looking at it and say, we want people to visit our city every weekend, every month end, every holiday, every festive period. And they've not had this conversation. So when they begin to hold conversations like this and say, we want people to visit River State, enjoy River State, explore River State, talk good about River State, that's what is working with Lagos State. That you see people see it as even the Nollywood movies, the narratives are, I'm suffering in the village, I'm going to Lagos, I'm making money. People made it so. So we can begin to create the narrative that I am talented in my village. I came to Port Harcourt. I was able to find that expression to become bigger. So there's no leadership. There's no the investment. I don't know. I've not asked this question, but I will ask how much investment in terms of finance have been made to develop tourism in River State.
No, you see that question. I agree with you. It's probably maybe the Port Harcourt City Chamber of Commerce. Fortunately, we do have means to contact them and maybe ask them this question, because it seems as though whenever anybody hears River State, the only thing that seems to come to everybody's mind is oil and gas. And
unfortunately, it's not oil and gas. Yeah, it's oil, gas, and politics.
No. Let's leave. Let's leave.
So you just want to be nice. Let's
leave politics, please. Let's put politics. But when we talk about the nairas and kobbos and legitimate nairas and kobbos now, it's basically oil and gas. Now, there's another part of this conversation after the break. I want you to marinate on this, and also those of you who are listening to please marinate on this, because when we come back, we'll open the phone lines and have you join the conversation. You ask KO questions, and you share your ideas and thoughts. KO has said maybe it's a leadership issue. The government hasn't said, okay, we want more people to come to River State on a weekly, on a monthly, and maybe on a periodical basis. Maybe that's that. But I have to ask, is it also possible that it's the people themselves? Everybody talks about Bola and Fish. I've been talking about Bola and Fish since the very first day I stepped into the studio and working. That's about 6-7 years now. I've not stopped talking about Bola and Fish. There are places in Port Harcourt where everybody knows they want certain things. They go there. The people in that area are either attracting those people intentionally. One particular place I want to mention, those of you who know Kana Street, or maybe who grew up in D-Line, you will know when you come in either from Emenike or maybe from Obunabali. Those days, as soon as you turn in from the right close to the railway place, there was a place where everybody used to go and buy their shoes. No matter what you do, they did not advertise. But somehow everybody knows that if you want to go and buy shoes those days in this city,
go to that spot.
Yeah. So maybe it's the people. I'm going to go on a break now. Are the people in River State, are they welcoming enough? Is it possible that maybe there's too much gra? There's too without you. Maybe that's why some people are not coming to small places. When we come back, Hello Port Harcourt continues.
Nigeriainfo.
Nigeriainfo PH, at Nigeriainfo PH. That's where you find us. And also on X at Nigeriainfo PH. It is purely coincidental that KO and I are wearing black. It is not planned. I did not even know that he was going to wear black today, but here we are. And we are not mourning anybody. It's just the style for the day. But what is definitely not feeling good for lots of Rivers people, whether it is in your back pocket, your front pocket, is the fact that money is not coming into a city that ought to be making money on its own. Without necessarily waiting for the federal government or state government, people aren't making as much money as they should. And KO is saying, well, one aspect that people are not paying too much attention to is the tourism sector. Now, we're going to open the phone lines very shortly. The numbers to call 0817 923 0002. 0817-923-0007, 0817-923-0002, 0817-923-0007. All right, WhatsApp and Telegram available on 0809-030-6416. I have the tab just in front of me here, 0817-923-0002. That's for the phone lines. To call to send us a message is 0809-030-6416. 0809-030-6416. Please do not call the last number I read out. It is strictly for the reception of messages. Strictly for the reception of messages. Now, just before the break, I asked KO and I also asked you a question. Is it possible, right? Whilst, yes, there has to be a role played by the government, and in previous dispensations, we haven't had that, particularly in River State. But what about you, the person on ground? Is this something that people are not doing? Is this something people are doing too much or not doing at all that is likely making Port Harcourt and River State in general not a tourism hub? In Delta State, people are going to be talking about the Abraka River very shortly when they want to go on holidays. As soon as school shuts down, everybody in that area, they're going to just rush. They're not going to tell you. They're going to just rush there to the Abraka, to River Ethiop. By the way, that's proper name. They're going to go rush. They're going to rush there. The same thing. Even Ikorekpene here. There's a small beach in Ikorekpene that I know people leave Port Harcourt and go to, but there are beaches around Port Harcourt. So okay,
beach, the same thing.
So is it what is it that the people too are also part of the problem?
No, I am. Jude, I will give kudos to creatives like us, and I can tell you that we're doing certain things like. If you in December you see a lot of street carnivals.
Yes, in some communities.
You will see the Shepo Bicycle Festival. You will see a lot. So we're doing our bit, but I can't say we're doing enough, and I can't say we are doing a lot. Let me say we are doing our own. Just like if you look at River State, comedy is the strongest creative subsector. There is hardly a weekend in Port Harcourt you don't see a comedy show. Now, why is that possible? Because for some of us who are like the frontliners, we've been able to do comedy events, and not just do we do comedy events, the proteges that we have around us
are also doing
yes, we've been able to support them to do events as well. And my blueprint for doing event that has made it profitable for me, I spread the knowledge across to my downlines as well and my circle, and so it's important. But what we need as a people is, if Nonso and his team are doing Bole Festival, Kibaba and his team are doing Mayor Pitakwa Comedy Show, time we just finished South Media Week, the next time you are going to see Chow Fair by Lucky Brown, there's going to be Native Festival by Lord Jenny. I can go on. You see, all of this we're doing. We're looking at a point when it comes to December, just like we have the River State Carnival, for instance. You have an event that is that massive, an event that everybody knows that one attention.
Yeah,
if
the focus is there.
Yes. If the state government says from the 10th of December to 17th, for instance, everybody, you just have to look at your event calendar and you say, this is where. And I trust the people in the tourism, River State Tourism Development Agency, especially Ibo, with his experience, not just in Siki. He used to run a Master Blaster band, and from Port Harcourt, from River State here, they went to Calabar 3 times in a row. I think 2012, 2013, 2014. A River State band was winning the competition in Cross River State. So it's not as if we don't have the wealth of experience that we need. We have the expertise, we have the experience. What we need now is that government input. We've not had it for some years now.
Yeah, okay. Now, I would like to cast the minds of our listeners to a few years ago, just about 6 years ago. I think it was under the administration of Nyesu Wike. I think the first 2 years, there was Kani Reeve. And then after that, financial constraints was the general word that was bantered about. That's why Kani Reeve didn't hold that year.
I think they didn't. That first year, they didn't even hold Kani Reeve. What they did was a gospel concert. Yes, I was the anchor. I compared the event that year, and when they finished it, they did another year, and after that, yes, yeah. We come up with River State is a Christian state, and then we see culture festivals to be very one kind, and I disagree with all of that.
Is that one of the reasons why? I don't know. I'm just asking.
Yes, I just want to sound nice. Yeah, I want to sound nice. That's why I'm saying this. But there have also been debates around financial constraint, and I will tell you that once there is a will, there is a way. Entertainment is when I do my event, when I draw my budget, I don't have 100 million naira to do an event. Yes, but I can tell you that when you draw that budget and you built a brand over the years, and your brand is solid enough, you must get corporate partnership. You must enjoy goodwill. Yes, so it's not just about constraint with finances, because the same time when they tell you if the River State government now come to me and say we have financial constraint, I will tell you how and why it's not true. Yes, because there should be a budget for this thing.
Okay, for tourism.
Yes, for tourism. Okay. Yes. So all you need to do is to align your budget and know that we are saying put this in your budget. Put this in your budget. Let's not forget the economic value of Kani Reeve. The numbers of fashion designers that are engaged.
The craftsmen.
The people, not to talk about how it will favor hoteliers. When they did presidential election, most hotels took their price. When PDP had their presidential destiny in River State, that was 8 years ago, about 6 years ago. The hotels, not just in GRA, everywhere, hotels who had room for 15,000 were selling rooms for 30,000, and people were still paying for it because the influx of people into the city. That's what Kani Reeve will bring. Even the restaurant around the street, not just the Bolehuma. There are people who will visit the market and everything. There are people who will go to, funny as it may sound, Jude, there are people who will still say, hey, my church day Port Harcourt to the branch of my church, and I would like to go and visit. Yeah, very true. So there's a lot will happen. The city is busy. The economic value is massive.
Now, when you talk about how massive the economic value is, now I'm reminded, and I don't know how many of you I was taught back then, but there was a time in the history of Port Harcourt that River State played host to a few games of the under 17 World Cup.
Yes.
And I remember hearing on radio those days that the government probably gave some money to some hoteliers to spruce up the places. I also heard that people took loans to patch up their places around room, because obviously it was the stadium there that was being used, all right? That's at Kens Ariwa Road. The stadium was used, so the hotels around there all got painted.
The streets
were cleaned.
There was like zero pothole mission there.
It was great, and that lasted 2-3 weeks, no, a month. So it was a month of a month. Yes, and although I think only about 4 or 5 matches were played here, but the entire state felt the presence.
Yes.
So if this was 1999. Nigeria 1999. Imagine if that impact were to be replicated today. Places have opened. GRA is more expanded now. Other George is expanded. NK is expanded. So the question is, what about the Andoni? Last year, there was a story that went viral around the world that a huge male elephant was seen in River State. And a lot of us who were listening that day, and I talked about it, like, they did not know that elephants could migrate to Andoni.
As you know that you can simply just go to Andoni and build Elephant City, where people will come into the state, and when they come into this state, they drive to Andoni to play with elephant, take pictures with elephant, and they will sleep over. It's like we're underestimating the value of tourism. We're not just talking about Canary Reef, but we're talking about everything that has to do with
tourism.
Tourism, yeah. And I'm saying this, anybody who wants, and possibly I know that Yubakuko will be open to an interview like that. Even if you can make him give me, I sat down, I think I read a large book called Tourism Bible. And when I read that, I could see in every local government that you have this year that can, with social amount of money, this can be made to be this way, and people will come into it. There's a carnival that happened last year. Group of young people came together. They set their stage. I think it was in Andoni or so, on top water.
Oh, that was beautiful.
Beautiful. They brought Portable, and even Portable was mad when he came. But we don't have that. That's one of the things we lack. I will tell people every day, every time I say it. Anybody believe me or not, the effort that I put in entertainment in Port Harcourt, I only need half of that in Lagos, and I will be richer and far richer, because here we don't have the media coverage. If that was in Lagos, all the TV stations, the blog will be screaming and be shouting, because it was unique, where you put a stage on top of the water. People were
just around
the water and everything. Some people were still there for land. The ones who wanted to come into the water had to put on their bikini and everything. It was beautiful. And there's another thing I want the government, if they're listening to us, to understand. The narrative you sell about your city when you hold event like carnivals, like what we hear about Calabar, you hear the good stories. You keep a picture that these people are hospitable, these people are nice. People will come into Port Harcourt just like they did that time. If we have a carnival, the government should be conscious enough to beautify the streets, lock up the potholes, make the place good, security in place. All of these street businesses, you tell them, if you'll be here by this time,
go
somewhere, possibly provide umbrellas and stands the way you want for them. A lot of those love Port Harcourt. Welcome to Port Harcourt.
Just branding.
Our color, white and blue, everywhere, spread across the city. Build photo stands like close to bus stops and everything. Yes. You will find out that people will come to this city and you will hear the positive narratives. You need it. You need people to say, man, Port Harcourt is fine. Port Harcourt people are good. They will always tell you Port Harcourt girls are wonderful. Yes. You will hear that, and you will see that every city needs that kind of story. We're talking about investors. When people say, I went to this city and I enjoyed this, when they hear that thousands, yes, it's a plus. When companies sit down and they want to talk about investing in any city, and they know that this is a city that people say they are friendly, they are hospitable, they are nice, a lot of companies will have conversations around that city, and that's what we're saying. I'm of the opinion that if there's one thing this government will do, not just for entertainers, for the city, yes, because part of the value too, like I know, when they used to do Canary, I was a young comedian we don't get the opportunity as much. Yes, but I've been in the business. I've had one or two shots in it. Kudos to Lexiem. What happened then is when Lexiem, in his era, Lexiem to be precise, Lexiem was like, he wanted a lot of musicians to be paid from it. He was working with the community to make sure that musicians were paid their dues. So let's say this, for most musicians, comedians, and a couple of persons that were involved in that Canary, it was like there is a means of income for you. It's like the government trying to give back to that sector as well. Yes, we may not lay our emphasis much on here, but we're saying that a city like ours deserve event like Canary. You don't sit down and you see it to be less. because you don't know the value and it can bring. There is social value, there is economic value, there's a lot tie around an event like Canary Reef is spread across 6 days. The next time we have conversation, the next Canary Reef is like a cultural style carnival. It will happen in 23 local governments. You have cultural festivals, and then you still have street parties in this local government. Tell me whether it is not a good thing
to bring people out to all the 23 local government areas,
to bring people out to party and to
so it doesn't just become it now becomes its name, Canary Reef, not just Canny Port Harcourt.
Yes, not Canny Port Harcourt.
All right, so let's open the phone lines now, and if you have the answers to some of the questions I've asked this morning. First things first, why has it been difficult, to get tourism in the states to grow? And apart from Port Harcourt, this is my question to you. Apart from Port Harcourt town, where else have you visited in Rivers State? Yes, you. Where else in Rivers State have you visited apart from Port Harcourt? And then I asked KO and also asking you, is it possible that also the people are part of the problem? We made mention of some of the historical places that we grew up around here in Rivers State, in Port Harcourt. The things that people were known for, they were not advertising, but everybody knew. But maybe people don't know that you can go and have a beach party somewhere underneath, because maybe if you go there now, if you beach, you collect your slippers. I don't know. But let's hear from you now. 017-923-0002. 017-923-0007. 0817923-0002. 0817923-0003. At Nigeriainfo PH, at Nigeriainfo PH is where you find us on Facebook and on X. Muriel is speaking to us from Okrika. Muriel, good morning to you, please.
Thank you, Jude. Good morning.
Good morning, please.
Good morning to your guest.
Good morning.
Now, the tourism in the tribe in Rivers State, some persons have not been given the responsibility to ensure that happens. You have to put this job in the hands of certain persons, finance them, and ensure that this happens. So, some ministries in Rivers State charged with the responsibility, and we can't really get it if we don't assign some persons.
Assign persons.
And inclined. That no business, they want to do it. If doctors are saying, every local government chairman, you are charged with responsibility, bringing up one thing in the community that will attract people. Number one, maybe agriculture, and number two, tourism. What is it that will attract people to come to your community? Tell us. So, ask them. Don't just say them to take it back. Don't just say no. We elected them, but let them come and tell us this thing. What you can do to attract people to your community. In my community, this is not a chief. One chief that organizes people just me. Come from don't to do that. Sometimes we will see the profit, maybe in my sales is getting profit. We might not be profit, make it accessible to his community. But people should do that. This is our talking to their community. And entertainment too. So many that look at Sky to him. Look at you only you to run away from people so that the tribe. Entertainment, do you have a entertainment industry in this state? That community is supposed to work to say this is the industry, let's go into that, they get the trains and take them. Let's take one or two sponsors that are interested in it, and tell them there are so many people that is that is big. But we have such people, they have this thing, people don't go, and at least we don't get it immediately in time.
Okay.
We do something like that in Rivers State.
All right, so we need something like that in Rivers State. KO, you were struggling to get to here, but I was. Now, some of the things you made mention was that, look, why isn't the government, tasking the local government chairman, each of them, they have 23. Yes. Tell us one thing that you can do to make people come to your local government, right? Yeah. And then she goes on to say, look, what about the corporate plan? And that's where I think I have to ask you. Yes, everybody keeps talking about government cannot do everything on its own, but the corporate societies are telling you, Oga KO, Oga Jude, money no day now. We go pay tax now. Light bill day now. You don't say our light bill. In many reach almost 5 million every month. How do you incentivize those people?
There's what is called tax rebates. Like yes, if companies when they sit with River State Internal Revenue Board, for instance, and then you can show proof of your corporate social responsibility and show proof of your corporate partnership to events and a couple of things in the tourism sector. They should be able to give you. There should be a particular percentage. Say because you've spent money in this, you've made investment in this, your tax should be this instead of this. Yes, and that practice we need to look at it as well. Just like she said. Every local government, in the local government, they have supervisors.
Okay.
There's one for youth, there's one for agri, there's one for this, there's one for revenue, there's another one. Yes, that's what they do. But I don't think they paid attention to tourism. Say we want somebody to supervise the tourism and say this particular place will develop it, make it secure, publicize it so that people can come in. Because if you have places like that across local government, when people come for funerals, traditional marriages and meetings, they will explore those facilities.
True.
That's what they need to understand. It's not done. So I agree with her. I agree with government sit down tax every local government.
Chairman.
Every local government chairman and say sit with your people. We're trying to make sure that we give Port Harcourt that positive imaging, and we want you to embrace tourism. Don't go and spend money in one place where you spend 50 million, you say now 500 million. No. Yes. Another way that these things can be done, there's let's not underestimate PPI. There should be a public-private initiative where somebody can say, if the local government give me this, I can build this, and local government say, okay, if you can build this, it's tax-free. We allow you build this, and then it's tax-free in our place and everything. All of these options can be explored. We need to pay attention to it. There's a beach in Bonny. There's another one in fact,
Andoni has one.
Andoni has.
I think somewhere in Okrika and what's that? Close
do you know that we're talking about entertainment now?
Yeah.
Okushiri has huge entertainment value because the king has done a lot in entertainment, invest in entertainment. Musicians perform in that city and they are paid well.
I like the way you call it city.
Yes, it's a city. You go to places there are good houses, there are restaurants, and that's why all these ring road and everything. I'm praying it should happen. That we don't event centers should not just be GRA Port Harcourt. Yeah, because even me, I will not take my show out of GRA. I won't lie. Yes, it's too small. But if we have where somebody staying in Aboloma, the place is as good as Port Harcourt City. If somebody can go to Degema now and build a 5,000 capacity hall, and you look at it that if I go to that place and do event, people from this side can easily
gain access there.
Gain access there and everything. We're looking at tourism, and there's a lot to it. And I'm saying this with confidence. It will create jobs. It will bring joy. It will even bring the government will still get revenue from it. Yes, and the employment that comes with entertainment. When I do my show, directly and indirectly, I employ about 110 persons. Like from the pay slip, you will know that the DJs, the ushers, the marketers, the bloggers, that will be paid. So imagine we have several people who do as much as me and a couple of my colleagues are doing. Now imagine there is also a local government council. There is also a state government that is paying attention to create events because during Canary, ushers alone are almost 200.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yes, the DJs across the city, even in street parties. The reggae night was done at Agri Road. The whole street will be bubbling. There are ushers, there are people selling and everything. Look at that value and tell me if it's not good enough for a city like for a state like Rivers State.
Indeed, it is great for a state like Rivers. So you heard Ko Baba here joining me this morning. He's really passionate to get in tourism. We'll see where this legwork of his will get the state to. But the onus lies not just with the government, but with you. My name is Jude. Thank you as always. We have a break coming up. After the break, the shenanigans start. Let's see which one of you will be able to sing and dance for some, you know what we do.
Wait, isn't that